Good morning, Bitcoiners. I hope you're doing well. I'm loving my life. Who could complain? Who could complain? Nobody. Things are going great. What's going on with YouTube? Come on, YouTube. So it's going to be a fun one this morning. There's a lot of fun stuff that's happening, right? There's a concentration of mentally ill people gathering. So we get to laugh at mentally ill people today. Why not? Why not? Why not? All right. We love it. Good morning, Tommy. Hope you're doing well. Tommy, I'm loving the Moscow time logo. Thanks for making it. Thanks for making it. I hope the auctions are going well, my man. We love the auctions. I put a bid on the last one. I don't know what happened. We'll see. First here, Tommy says, Christine, good morning. Good morning, Christine. We're loving it. YouTube, in fact, working. We're happy about the working YouTube. Good morning, John. Good morning, John. Hope you're well. Yeah, it's a bummer. I know I don't get any comments from X, Twitter, nor do I get a live viewer account, but that's okay. We'll live. Right, we'll live. No big deal. Hola, amigo. Hola, Nick. Hope you're doing well, Nick. I missed the DNC last night from what I saw. Oh my God, we'll cover it all. You don't got to watch that stuff. You're going to get mental illness. You'll be like one of them. You'll cut your dick off if you watch too much of it. You'll just, right? You'll cut your nuts off, cut your balls off. And you'd be like, look, what a good idea I had. So I would stay away. Assalamu alaikum, y'all. The sun is up and the price gouging must go on. It's all price gouging. It's all price gouging. Robert, DNC Moscow time. Dale, good morning, everyone. Rocking the Tims in the mug. Rocking the Tims in the mug this morning. Dale, get out of that Tims business. They hate you. They hate you. I quit. I'll never drink Tim Hortons coffee again. Never. Ever. When I was working for Harper, they did some bullshit where, I don't know, they were like just something disrespectful to oil sands workers, like bought in on global warming shit. And I said, from that moment on, fuck you all. I'm never eating your shitty fucking donuts again. Your stupid, gross coffee, garbage. I'll go to McDonald's before I'll go there. So it was one of my original boycotts, Tim Hortons. And anyway, if you want to know, Dale, the truth about Tim Hortons, they're now, oh yeah, really, Dale. And they're also owned by Burger King, which is not a CIA carve out, according to Mike Benz. It's for brainwashing purposes. It's not real. It's a fake coffee shop, basically there to manipulate Canadians, according to Mike Benz. Mike Benz has argued for a long time that even the fast food has been co-opted by the brainwashers. So, and that's, if you remember, there was an acquisition of Tim Hortons years ago. Wendy's had owned it at one time, but then Burger King bought it in order to make it what it is today, right? So that's the minute Burger King bought it, that's when they got into oil sands people are scum and blah, blah, blah. And that's who they are to this day. So they get fucking nothing from me. Nothing. I won't bring my kids, other than when their grandparents sometimes take them, they will not go in the door with me. They put cocaine in their coffee. Well, I would take that. That'd be better. All right. Let's get to it. Indeed. We got a sunrise. Oh, let me get that light off. I got some glare. We got a sunrise team. We got a real sunrise. They're not that beautiful right now, but that's okay. They're coming up later. This one happened after 6 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. The first time that happened, 6:01 this morning. So we're losing about 4 minutes a day, 4 minutes a day where I am. You know, it's the, if you're measuring the height, it's like the Ferris wheel, right? You don't lose much over June and July because you're at the top of the rung in the orbit, and now our days really start shrinking. So you can feel it. It's cool today. But where is it hot? Let's do some Moscow time. Oh, we got to have a coffee and talk about what's new. I forgot the whole line. Sun's up, by the way. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. I didn't mean to flub my starting line. There's my beautiful Moscow Time logo, which has found itself on some prospecti. Oh, but first, before we give a weather report, before we get into the weather, we just got to let everyone know this is the most important news, everyone. Okay, this is, it doesn't matter what's going on with the Fiat failures. You just have to know that CBS, right, they're doing us a solid here. This was on 60 Minutes on the weekend. I couldn't let it go. We have proof we're being invaded by aliens, everyone, right? In his new book, Elizondo writes that they're not made by humans, adding they represent a very serious national security concern. There's aliens, guys. So, you know, we see UFOs because of the USOs, right? Don't forget. Don't forget. All right. Where's it hot? What's the weather like? It's hot in Texas. Texas is facing its biggest test of the summer. It's so hot. I didn't see this coming, guys. Hot in Texas in the summer. I mean, they said it was hot back in June, and then it stayed hot until now in Texas. What? Right? And here's what they say, right? So now they got to keep the power on and air conditioners running as temperatures hit triple digits and push electricity consumption to all-time highs, which means the all-time high of emissions is happening in Texas. Are they going to survive? We don't know. We'll find out. Tune in tomorrow to find out if Texas makes it. But there's more to Texas. It's not that simple. Texas has other troubles, right? It's not just that. A persistent drought in Texas is hurting the finances of a small town. So now there's poor people in Texas because of the weather. And now they're unable to pay the bondholders in a rare instance of climate-related default. Guys, Texas is going to go bankrupt. It's so hot. It's over. The climate-related default of Texas is in the pipe. It's coming, okay? It doesn't matter that they're the richest state in the union. It doesn't matter that Texas, which is something like what, 30% of the US GDP or some absurd number for just one state, right? It's as rich as California. But the drought is over. It's done. They can't fix it. It's not going to happen. So Texas, everyone, big trouble. All right. But here's what they can do, okay? Texas can take a lesson from the Great Barrier Reef, where it's also hot. And now, right, they can listen. They need to listen in Texas. By listening to audio recordings of natural habitats, artificial intelligence is speeding up the process of assessing species loss. Everybody knows, right? If you want to know the temperature, you look at the tree rings and the acorns and from like a million years ago, and you're like, oh, it was 35 degrees out because of the acorns. You didn't know that you can actually just put your ear to the ocean and you can listen. And you'll hear the death. You'll hear the Great Barrier Reef shrinking. You'll hear it, okay? And you'll know about species loss. If you just listen, you're going to learn about species loss. It's really important, right? Really, really important. Now, I don't know if you can listen. They say you can't see it, the monkeypox, right? People can be infected with monkeypox without showing symptoms, study suggests. Experts say it's possible that people who have the virus but are asymptomatic might be able to infect others. I've heard this chestnut before, right? Haven't you heard this chestnut before, right? Now, what I'm proposing here for everyone in the mainstream media is, why don't you try and combine these? Maybe you can't see the monkeypox, but can you hear it? I mean, monkeys make a lot of noise, right? I live around monkeys in Barbados all the time. They're in the trees, they're running around. Trust me, they're loud, loud, loud. So I don't know much about monkeypox, but if you can't see it, maybe you can hear it. I don't know. We're going to find out. But also, we're back to school, guys. We got other really important things going on. Axios reminding us it's back to school. It's back to school. Where's the Adderall, yo? Right? It's time for the fucking Adderall. It's back to school. America's doing great. It's just doing great. Look at the mental health. It's pouring out. Abundance. Adderall. It's just abundance, right? We love it. What else do we got after Axios? Oh, yes. How are things going in England? England, right? We used to say we had a special relationship with England. We have a special relationship. Now, some people say they're attacking America, like the Belgians attacked America with the free speech thing, right? They said you're going to be jailed. And now the English are saying if Americans retweet, we're also going to go to jail over there. So some people say they've declared war on Americans with their nonsense. I don't know if I'm going to go that far, right? But what's going on over there? What's happening? We got BBC London. A 67-year-old man has been jailed after chanting, "You're not English anymore," at police officers during a violent demonstration. I'm glad he's off the streets. Jeez, he insulted the police. Oh my God. Get him in there. Get, you're a nuisance. But this is also really cool. I've never heard of these weapons because they're not allowed guns over there, right? But they've got what we call zombie style knives. What's a zombie style knife? I don't know, but I want one now. I want a zombie style knife, right? People who currently possess zombie style knives and machetes are being urged to hand them in to police ahead of a ban coming into force next month. I mean, it's going to be the best compliance you've ever seen, right? Because all the honest people and all the villains, they don't want to get caught. I know the criminals in England, they don't want to have to face the ban. The ban is coming, and they're going to have to face the ban. Whew, get those zombie knives and machetes out. Get them out, right? I keep a machete in Barbados, by the way. I did a rooster in once with it. A rooster. Basically, I had a rooster that moved in. He must have been beaten up from the other males because they just kill each other all the time. And so he was pretty young. He wasn't full grown. He ran into my yard from whatever place he came from. And I let him heal, let him recover. We had a pet rooster for a few weeks. My neighbor had just given birth, and it was coming to the end of our time there, but his testosterone, his T had come back. So he was cock-a-doodle-doodling in the morning, and I couldn't just leave him there. So what I did was I knew where he slept, and I went out and I trained him a few times where I would put my light in his eyes, and then I would just put the machete down on his neck, and he never flinched. And so one night, I didn't just put the machete down, right? And one just gone, right? Just gone. But you got to do that. You can't leave them running around in a totally residential area with a newborn baby and cock-a-doodle doing all day. So my wife still gives me a hard time about it, but what are you gonna do? Like, sometimes you got to do it, right? There you go. So I did not use a zombie style machete, though. I used a regular machete. It was nothing special. All right. So we had we start with the news. I always like to give you a couple of the gaslighting of the Democrat candidate stuff, right? Because there's always a few that are just really, really tight, really nice. This one is a thing of beauty. I mean, it's really nice, right? It's one of the great Moscow Time contributions. And Axios said, right, that Harris's cautious hold the details campaign. It's just to hold the details. Let's hold the details. We don't need the details. Let's hold them. Details, no good. Hold the details when you're running for president. Everyone knows that. Don't share the details. Hold them, right? Hold them. It's a cautious hold, right? Don't share them, right? Whatever you do, don't share them. Now we got what's going on with our friend Tim Balls to the Walls. We got Democrats want Tim Walz to be their sports whisperer. What's a fucking sports whisperer? I don't know, but I don't care. It's awesome. That's obviously what they want. A sports whisperer. Now, some people say a sports whisperer who's an expert in zombie knives and zombie machetes. Don't know what those are either. But I don't know. We got all these things happening. We love it. We love it. This is also what's going on over at the DNC, guys. If you get a hot dog, guess what you get for free, right? The Wiener Circle is giving out coupons so that you can cut your balls. You can just do a little snip, snip, right? Get a hot dog, snip, snip, right? Phallic, snip, snip. You're going to be great, right? Just like, why reproduce? Why? It's toxic. Don't do it, right? Just, right? Don't worry. Get the hot dog and the vasectomy. Now, I continue with my prediction. If things go the way they are, all right, If things continue, if Kamala wins, I'm telling you, at the DNC 2028 convention, they're going to level up. It's not just going to be you can get a vasectomy and an abortion. No. They might still have the hot dog for abortion deal. That might still be there. I don't want to make any predictions about the hot dog and the vasectomy and the abortion deal. That all might still be there, okay? But I think they're going to level up. I think by 2028, it's going to be live sex changes, all right? You're just going to go up there and you're going to say, cut it off. I don't need the dick and the balls anymore. They're useless. I'm free of balls and dick. And I think they're going to do them live. I think it's going to be like they're going to have an altar or something. The balls will roll down the stairs like when they used to cut the hearts out of the people in Montezuma's time, right? So the balls, boom, 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 they're going to fall down. The dick gets lopped off, right? No word on the hot dogs deals and all that stuff. I don't know anything about that. But I'm telling you, you're going to have live de-dicking in DNC 2028 if Kamala wins. Who doesn't want to see that? I mean, honestly, if you're wondering what the upside is for Kamala winning, a live sex change show in 2028 outside in the parking lot of the DNC is kind of actually, I don't hear Trump offering anything that entertaining. Now, the only hope Trump will have is to really go all in on space drops, because I think space drops will actually trump the live dick getting cut off. So, that's what's going on. That's what's going on, right? So there you go. So that's what's going on with that. Now, we got more stuff from the DNC. It wasn't just that, right? USA Today is asking, right, why are there so many empty seats? I mean, now my answer is they're out in the hall, they're out in the parking lot getting vasectomies and abortions. So they can't be there while they're also getting a vasectomy, right? So, I mean, I don't know. The USA Today didn't mention that, but that was my guess. I don't know, maybe, right? But why are there so many empty seats? Just who cares? Right? They don't know. Now, we got some good ones. What are the reactions of the Democrats over there? I just wanted to keep this beautiful picture of Biden. He gave his farewell speech last night. He, a little bit of a sundowner. They made him go after midnight. He was angry. He was yelling at everybody. So I just wanted to keep this great. I'm so glad this is how he goes out, one of his last speeches. And I'll tell you some of the details. I mean, you don't have to know much about what he said, right? It's mostly retarded. But, just seeing him scream and yell one last time at everyone and getting so angry, even frustrated when he tried to speak, that's fine, right? That's great. So here's MSNBC's reaction. They're saying that that Biden's ovation last night was unlike anything they've ever seen in American politics. Nothing. There's never been a moment like his farewell speech last night. It was really great, right? It was really great. So I was a big fan. We got more, though. It's not just that, right? We got Joy Reid. She's all excited, right? She goes, it's not even about politics anymore. This is about making a statement about who and what America is. Of course it is. It's not about politics, right? No, it's about hot dogs for vasectomies and abortions. It's clearly about who America is. And that is what America is. Let's not forget, right? This one's good, too. They called it emotional confetti. It's emotional confetti. It's just so good. Man, what are you going to do? Now, this was the star, though. This girl was really something else. So if you don't know who she is, I'd never heard of her in my life. She's a state senator. If you're not from America, what you have to understand is the state senators, not the senators from U.S. senators from your state, right? So in America, every state has 2 senators, U.S. senators. Now, a state senator is not really the same thing. One second. So state senators, not really the same thing, right? State senators, in fact, are a bit useless. The point of a federal senator is federalism in the sense that the lower house, the Congress, is popular vote, right? So however big your state is, you have that proportion of congressmen. In the Senate, it's equal. So every state has the same amount of senators. Every state has 2. Vermont has 2. California has 2. Everyone has 2. Vermont's population, though, my home state, is so low that we only have one congressman. We have a congressman at large, just one congressman. So we have more senators than congressmen in Vermont, whereas California has like, I don't know, 100 congressmen or something like that, and they still only have 2 senators. So when you go to the state level, though, the point of the Senate kind of gets removed because the point is for it to be federal, right? So you're supposed to be about organizing federal governments. So Canada, for example, used to have something similar. We used to have state senators too. We got rid of all of them because they're useless. So no states have state senators anymore. We only have the lower house because it was absolutely pointless. So I don't know why the Americans haven't gotten rid of state senators. Maybe some states have, I'm not sure. But this lowly, mentally ill idiot, you should see, I wish I had these better, just screaming and cursing. She brought up a copy of Project 25, which is just the most debunked thing you've ever seen, right? And she proceeded to just go and show and share her mental illness with everyone. She just started screaming. She sounded stupider than Biden. So here she comes, and Vigilant Fox says some random state senator says that Trump could even weaponize the Department of Justice to go after his political opponents. And someone said, whoopsie, that's exactly what Kamala Harris and the Democrats have been doing. So everyone talking about how it made no sense. Donald Trump would be able to weaponize the Department of Justice to go after his political opponents. He would even turn the FBI into his own personal police force. And then Libs of TikTok says, should someone tell her? And then, of course, the Associated Press picks it up. And so this is who we have here. So I really look forward to what's in store for her. I bet you it's going to be amazing. What they use this convention for is to try to elevate people, right? They try to put them on a higher pedestal. So hopefully it worked out for her. I want to see more of her. Okay. She's great. Moscow Time might have a new star. I really wish this one was coming in good, because you get a sense of like she's really sort of screaming from that really weak part of her internal psychology. So she's really trying to compensate by yelling more. It didn't work, but it's great. We love her. So we want more of Mallory McMorrow. Come on, Mallory, let's do it. Let's get more of your stuff out there. We need it. Very, very important. Now, the next one here is really, she was the best. She stole the show. Now, I had to cough earlier. I wish I could have waited because she was up, and her, they call her the Hakatua girl. Hakatua. Well, Hochul is pretty good too. Hochul, right? We love Hochul. I was really trying to time my Horkel to her thing. I just couldn't make it. That's why I had to pause 2 seconds ago. So, breaking. Governor Kathy Hochul brags about New York prosecuting President Trump at the DNC convention. Okay, she joked. She thought it was really funny. She said, "We got Donald Trump in jail," right? So it was really great. The DA inflated misdemeanors into felonies, bypasses the statute of limitations with a novel legal approach just to prosecute the leading Republican candidate during an election year. Now Democrats are celebrating this on stage at the DNC convention. We love it. Let's go. 4 more years. We love it. So Hochul, we love her. We love her. So here's Kanekoa also recapping Biden's speech, right? So he says that women are without electrical power. He wasn't that bad on that one, honestly. He tried. He just kept having, he just could not read the teleprompter, right? So, but at least he acknowledged on stage that he couldn't get it right. He did like, whoa, I got that out. So I'll give him half points on that. But here's where he gets really great, right? So he says the border crossings are down under him, besides compared to Trump. And then he did the Fine People hoax, right? So he repeated the most disgusting lie in the history of American politics, just casually, just for fun, even though it's been debunked and everyone knows it's debunked, except for the people he's talking to because they're mentally ill. So that was great, right? We love when he puts a target to try and ramp people up to kill people who disagree with him because they believe they're all racist now, right? That's just great, right? Why not pit half the population because of a lie against the other half and put a target on them? It's just great. It's bringing everyone together, right? Just using lies to just bring everyone together. That's Joe Biden's, that's what he's going to be remembered for. Right? So then he did the suckers and losers hoax, right? That's the one where Trump was in Europe, and apparently he called dead American soldiers suckers and losers. And he screamed at the crowd. He got confused when talking about Medicare. He says the Democrats, of course, have to save democracy again. They did it before. They can do it again. Right? Biden was forcibly removed as the democratically nominated candidate. So Joe Biden, who was forced out using no democracy, and now there's Kamala Harris, who has never received a vote for president in her life, ever. She didn't get one delegate when she ran last time in 2020. She didn't run this time, so she got 0 votes. She has a total of 0 votes for president after 2 primaries. Total of 0. And he's coming out and he's saying, after he was forcibly removed, that they got to save democracy. So perfect, right? Biden says there will be 1,000 trillion billionaires in America. Well, that's true. I mean, he got that right? I think there will be 1,000 trillion billionaires in America because of inflation. So he did deliver that. He did deliver. You got to give him credit, everyone. Joe Biden. You know, some people say that he got the number wrong because he can't count. That's not what happened. He got it right. It's true. There's going to be 1,000 trillion billionaires, right? How many were there? 1,000 trillion billionaires in the Weimar Republic? Now I read this as 1,000 people with $1 trillion billion. Who has $1 trillion billion? Right? It sounds like my kids trying to talk about money. $1 trillion billion. It's all possible. It's all possible. Let's not forget. All right. Now, they did do some fact checking. I went over to find out if the fake news fact checked anything that Biden and Hochul and any of these other people said. Not so much. Okay. They did fact check Trump, though. Okay. So, but it's our favorite fact checkers. Guess who's here? It's the Economists. They're so smart. All right. So, now, if you didn't see this, Trump in New Jersey at his Bedminster golf course did this thing where he brought out all the groceries as props and put their prices and said what they were before versus what they are now, right? It's pretty simple economics, right? I think most of us can handle what something cost before and after, right? So he went and did that. He put all the prices up. And but luckily, right, because it's not just about reading the price, right? Trump cites government numbers. But the economists say, okay, that the math makes no sense. He can't go to the grocery store and just take pictures of the prices and compare them. It's more complicated, guys. Okay. It's not as simple as your milk costs twice as much. That's not it. Okay. The economists, there's more to the math. There's more to the math. Okay. So that's the way it is. You got to just deal with it, right? They also made sure they fact checked him on his use of AI, right? Because, you know, it's too much to ask if you can determine if like the Kamala Harris pictures were AI, and you see all the ones this week of Trump marrying Kamala and having a baby, right? So luckily, though, Washington Post let us know that those are fake. Okay, that Trump's AI fakes of Harris and Swift aren't meant to fool you. All right. They're not meant to fool you, right? Trump, these aren't credible deepfakes. They're provocative memes. Thank you. I honestly, for a second, said, oh, shit. Trump is marrying Kamala Harris and she's already pregnant with his kid and they're already having a baby. And then I went, oh, that must be AI. Oh, but I'm, you know, I have a high IQ. So not everyone is like that. I was able to figure out on my own that Trump and Kamala were not actually getting married. All right. But again, I'm a Bitcoiner. You know, I got Bitcoin friends. So I have advantages. We talk about those advantages all the time here on the Breakup. But luckily, I was media literate enough to know that the images weren't fake. I think it's mostly because I produce so many AI images. So because I produce so many, I have an eye for it. It must be that, you know, it must be that. I think it's something like that. But thankfully, like I said, Washington Post helping me, letting me know that, you know, Trump's just trying to have some memes. I almost thought Trump and Kamala were married. I mean, I personally wouldn't trade Melania for Kamala, but Trump's a different guy. I don't know. Maybe he's just into that stuff. So I don't know. I just don't know. All right, so this is great. That's our Moscow time for the day. So this didn't come out the way I wanted it to. I don't know why I even did this one. So what this all is a Washington Post article about the fact checkers and Trump. And it's pretty funny. So I'll read a little bit of it. So Washington Post columnist admits fact checkers were ineffective in the Trump era. So imagine they just tried to fact check Trump about the AI and they didn't fact check anyone else, right? Nobody. But they tried to fact check Trump about the prices at the grocery store and inflation. So here's what the Washington Post columnist says, though, that they were ineffective in the Trump era and they confused opinion with fact. Despite fact checkers' work, Trump's approval ratings are holding up better than public trust in academia and journalism. Washington Post columnist Megan McArdle ripped the community of fact checkers who have tried to hold former President Trump accountable during his political career, admitting they've ultimately failed to hamper his support and have hurt their own institutions. The author, a staunch critic of Trump, accused those of trying to prevent the spread of Trump's disinformation of being arrogant and mistaking their own opinion with objective fact. She even accused them of censorship. All of this, she wrote, has ultimately led to voters questioning them and other institutions more than they've ever questioned the former president. After 8 years of all-out disinformation warfare, Trump's approval ratings are holding up better than public trust in academia and journalism, McArdle lamented. The columnist began her piece by describing the idealized mission of the Trump-era fact-checkers, saying they devote themselves to checking the internet for bad facts and bad actors, and especially for the malevolent impulses of Trump. However, they didn't save the world in her estimation. At best, they dinged Trump on some of his bragging, and at worst, they censored true facts in their thirst to correct him. Some of their efforts have been useful, including the fact-checking of Trump's mere frenetic flights of fancy, she said, adding, but the larger effort has been repeatedly marred when the disinformation experts have acted as censors, suppressing information that turned out to be true and spreading information that was false. McArdle provided some of the major examples of this suppression, examples that most of the media participated in at the behest of these fact-checkers. Recall that it was misinformation to suggest the pandemic might have started in a Wuhan lab. Recollect that a bevy of putative experts assured us that Hunter Biden's laptop was probably a Russian disinformation operation, rather than Hunter Biden's laptop. She added a more recent one stating, if these memories have faded, remember that just a few months ago, we were hearing the videos of President Trump's obvious decline were actual experts certified cheap fakes. The author even noted that after each of these fact checks blew up in the experts' faces, they would learn some humility, and each time they have remained unchastened. She concluded the episode sums up all the ways in which the disinformation specialty has gone wrong with Trump: the arrogance, the confusion of opinion with legal and empirical fact, the destroy the village in order to save it attempts to shore up democracy by clamping down on political speech, not to mention the ineffectiveness of it all. And that's what's going on. And in the end, Trump really did destroy. He destroyed it. Scott Adams said it. He destroyed the fake news industry. Now, the important lesson from all of this is that Trump destroyed the US dollar in doing so, because we talk about this all the time. The US dollar, fiat means government declarations, government words. The money, if the money is based on government declarations and words, the fake news industry is the node propagator. They're the ones running the nodes, to put it in Bitcoin terms, right? Because that's how we understand the world. So if the nodes that are trying to perpetuate the network must lie because the words are the software, right? That's the code. What they talk about, the hoaxes, the scams, all that stuff is what they must do in order to perpetuate the network. But Trump broke it. And he's broken it so badly that it can't be put back together. Right, which is why the people who still can't see, there are still people out there that believe we are operating in a world of rationality, and if they just had the information, if we won the information arguments and we gave them arguments, they would change their mind and it would be different. You know, this mentally ill ETH-tard that runs Bankless would be an example of that. So this guy actually said this in public yesterday. He said this in public. He's an anti-Trump mental case, right? He believed all the fake news, all the hoaxes. He's been fighting for Democrats this whole time. He's been putting together the crypto for Harris thing. And then yesterday they come out and they say that Gary Gensler, now I don't know if any of this is true, Gary Gensler, Secretary of the Treasury, which would be perfect. He's almost better than Yellen, right? We love Yellen, but he's almost better. And so imagine him out there on the trail trying to get countries to like do stuff, right? He's the least persuasive, disgusting looking person. You can't even be in the room with him. He's so disgusting, right? He tried to get a job at CoinDesk years ago, so I've actually met him. His body language makes it look like he sticks his finger up his ass and then smells his fingernails all day long. That's who he is. He's a guy who just smells his dirty body and his dirty face all day long. He's disgusting. He's a disgusting person in real life. Okay, I've met him. He's disgusting. So we get this disgusting creature, and he's now going to be the person we send out into the environment in order to persuade other countries, which would be perfect. Let's go, Gensler. It's the best thing she's offered, right? Trump, did one of his funny things at the Bitcoin show where, he goes, let's fire Gary Gensler. And then he just says it again because he got an applause. He just says it again. He's just like, let's fire day one. So on day one, Gary Gensler gets fired with Trump. And on day one, Gary Gensler, I guess, becomes the Secretary of the Treasury. So Ryan Selkis said anyone who can't see the difference now actually has brain maggots. Brain maggots. It's a good one. In my day, we used to just call them sludge people, right? That was our typical name for these people, sludge people, right? That was the maxi name for Fiat sludge people for years. I think Francis Pouliot came up with it. I'm not sure. I've always used sludge people. I've been using sludge people for years. Sludge people works. We all love, it's got a tight way of fitting in, but brain maggots is pretty good too. So I don't know, am I going to brain maggots or sludge people? It's one or the other. But here's the thing, right? I'm shocked, he says. We tried to educate them. And I'm like, did you send them the right email? And they didn't believe you? Oh my God. So in the end, Ryan, Sean Adams, these are the type of people that we have to deal with. It's not a big deal, right? These are low IQ. Well, maybe not even. I think he has a pretty high IQ. I shouldn't even say that. He's a smart guy. I don't even want to say he's not a smart guy. He is a smart guy, right? But look at the mental illness. Look at what he believes because he can't face it, I guess. I'm not sure. He is actually hoping for Joe Biden and Kamala Harris to do something for him because he asked nicely and it's logical. Now, this is the fate of most ETH-tards, by the way, guys. They're most, and it's not the politics. They're all going to be sitting there at the end going, but it was logical. I thought it through. How come it's not working? It was so logical, right? So they're all going to be like this one day, which is funny. Now, here's the contrast, though, and what makes it so funny. So Kamala announced her cabinet appointment yesterday, right? Gary Gensler. Trump announced Musk, okay? Trump announced Elon Musk yesterday, right? So Trump wants to hire Elon Musk and possibly cut. So, of course, Axios can't let it go, right? It's all a tax deal. They're in it. The whole thing he's been up to, Elon Musk, you caught him. He's looking for a tax deal. So we're not up against very impressive people. We have to remember that. It's Ryan Sean Adams is the best they have. That's the best they have. There's not better than him. He's got the fewest maggots in his brain compared to the other people. And that's all that's left. So that's great. Right? We love it. All right. We got that. And he also did something amazing. So here's some good news to end the show, right? We're going to end it with some positive things that happened yesterday. So not only did Elon get a cabinet offer, I guess, or something, he also is set to open his new school, right? Now, this is the kind of stuff that actually is changing the world. This is the kind of stuff that should bring us all a lot of hope. This is amazing. So Elon Musk, and there's a few on these lines. Elon Musk is launching a school for children, and it launches next month. The school is called Ad Astra, which means to the stars in Latin. Not surprising, given this is Elon Musk. It's going to be a Montessori-style school, which means it's based on hands-on learning and collaborative and project-based learning focused on STEM. The school boasts a 40-acre plot right outside Austin and will take 50 children aged 3 to 9. This is apparently just the beginning of Elon's foray into education. And this also dovetails with Trump's Freedom City thing getting another boost this weekend in amplification. Now, Trump has been talking about this for a while. He's going to build 10 cities from scratch, according to a competition and a design thing. I continue to predict that one Bitcoin company will win one of those new cities because they'll be able to put a mining rig and some kind of small modular nuclear reactor as part of it. And that'll be the sort of core backbone of how they build this Freedom City. So the new city thing with Bitcoin at the heart, the Citadel Tech, basically, Citadel Tech is starting to go online. And Citadel Tech is really the big thing we're going to do next. Once we take care of the energy markets, it's all in on Citadel Tech. And Bitcoin is going to be the organizing principle around Citadel Tech, which is going to be the biggest part of the economy going forward, right? That's what we got left is Citadel Tech. So that's what's going on. We've also got China, right? Just approved 11 new nuclear reactors. So that's going to put pressure on America to do the same. We're going to have to fire up them nukes big time and try and get all that electricity. I think the whole world's going to have to follow suit. So congratulations to China. When they do have a change of government in China, it will be a great because they're going to have the electrical infrastructure. They're going to have the capacity. And I'm very happy for those Chinese people. Remember, Bitcoin is at its strongest when average Americans and average Chinese people are acting the same way because of their own inputs and reasons and whatever reason they want to be there. But a lot of you have never experienced what it's like to see China, retail Bitcoin buying happen all night long when you're sleeping, and then you wake up the next day and America buys all day. You've never seen when China and America get together in Bitcoin because of the Chinese bans. I think that's about to end, and you're going to feel something you've never felt in Bitcoin before. It's actually the most powerful position Bitcoin can be in, right? Yeah. Now we got Balaji's new school as well. I'm going to go to that. I'm going to visit him at that school. I'll be there. So the network state is starting. Another great idea. This is all along the lines of basically Citadel Tech. Right, and Balaji is a big believer in Bitcoin maximalist Citadel Tech. He's a big fan of the Bitcoin maxi worldview, the tribalness of it. He believes this is a harbinger of things to come. And of course, the other one is that Russia did one of the best trolls you're going to find. But I would put this on the Citadel Tech level too. Inducing a bunch of Westerners to move over there, saying you're not going to have to deal with woke bullshit if you come over here. It's going to be great. And out of that, I could imagine, it's Russia. I think they have enough room to build some new cities. So that would be great, right? We've got Citadel Tech coming on, right? Citadel Tech coming on. It is absolutely happening. Citadel's Bitcoin at the middle, incoming. All right, team, another short one today. I've got a 9 o'clock my time appointment in 15 minutes, and I got to fix my nose or whatever's going on. The last remnants of this Hochul COVID that I got, and I shall see all tomorrow. Have a great day. I hope everyone is enjoying the DNC today. There'll be fun stuff to talk about tomorrow. All right, everyone. Peace out.